Transformational leadership is a major form of leadership set out in Chapter 13 of our textbook. A transformational leader inspires their followers to commit to a shared vision that provides meaning to their work, as well as helping them fulfill their own potential and explore new perspectives. They support the goals of their followers and help them build confidence in their abilities to achieve them. The four dimensions, or four I's, of transformational leadership, as set out by Bernard Bass in the 1980s, include idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. We will go on to discuss these dimensions using clips from Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Moneyball, and Haikyuu.
Idealized influence involves the admiration, trust, and respect of a leader from the followers, causing the followers to want to emulate their leader. This can be seen in the change in behavior of King Joffrey before and after the influence of Marjorie Tyrell.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, "I am the king," is no true king.
In the first clip, the disdain and contempt can be seen in the faces of all present. They hold no respect for him. The phrase, "any man who must say I am king is no true king," shows his lack of leadership qualities and how he can only rely on succession to make him a leader and not his own merit.
Shall we go and see them? If you give them your love, they will return it 1,000-fold. I've spoken with them. I know how they feel about you. You led the defense of King's Landing. They adore you.
Open the doors.
Joffrey? Wait.
In the second clip, through Marjorie's guidance and persuasion, Joffrey has amended his ways and has now gained the love of his followers through kindness, openness, and charity, as Marjorie has encouraged. It is in this way we see transformational leadership through idealized influence. Joffrey learned to lead not through fear and the assertion of control, but through the influence of his betrothed. He has decided to employ new methods of leadership with her aid. Her overwhelming charisma has changed the view of the townsfolk from hating the royal family, having attacked them previously, to wishing long life into the king. The article by Reza recognizes how the influence of leaders can encourage and shape a clear vision for their followers to see. Marjorie shaped a new vision for Joffrey by showing him the townsfolk could love and revere him without using fear as a tactic.
The second dimension of transformational leadership is inspirational motivation. The textbook defines inspirational motivation as behaving in ways that foster in your followers enthusiasm and commitment to your shared vision. This facet of transformational leadership is shown in Neville Longbottom's speech near the end of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
We lost Harry tonight. He's still with us. In here. So's Fred. And Remus. Tonks. All of them. They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us. It's not over.
Neville is shown giving a speech after Harry, the movement's primary leader, is incapacitated and believed to be dead. Neville delivers this speech in an effort to reignite the motivation of the followers of Harry Potter at a time where defeat seems likely. He conveys that they should not lose hope and should continue to fight for what's right. Judge and Piccolo state that leaders with inspirational motivation challenge followers with high standards, communicate optimism about future goal attainment, and provide meaning for the task at hand, all of which are demonstrated in this clip. From another perspective, Harry could also be seen as a transformational leader who has inspired Neville to carry on his leadership, seeing as prior to this point, Neville was timid and lacked courage. However, he was inspired by Harry's vision and took on the mantle to create his own change.
The third important dimension that defines transformational leadership is intellectual stimulation. Leaders exercise this dimension by behaving in ways that challenge their followers to think outside the box, by questioning old assumptions and reframing situations in innovative ways. In Moneyball, Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane exemplifies this behavior by challenging the old guard scouting team to approach player evaluation in a stats-focused way, as opposed to the typical eye test that they had relied on in the past.
Billy, we got 38 home runs and 120 RBIs.
Guys, you're still trying to replace Giambi. I told you we can't do it, and we can't do it. Now, what we might be able to do is recreate him. Recreate him in the aggregate.
The what?
Giambi's on-base percentage was .477. Damon's on base, .324. And Almeida's was .291. Add that up and you get...
You want me to speak?
What up, point do you get?
1092.
Divided by 3.
It's 364.
That's what we're looking for. Three ball players whose average OBP is...
As we can see, Beane challenges the old ways of scouting, presenting a new strategy unlike anything the scouts had seen, which catches them off guard. In this way, Beane becomes a transformational leader by transforming the scouts' assumptions about player evaluation and encouraging them to consider players they never would have before. This contrasts strongly with the older scouts, who prefer a leadership style that errs on the transactional side, evidenced by their desire to stay within the strict limits of their job titles. According to Coe et al., transformational leadership behaviors like this are significantly positively correlated with increased creativity in followers. This is clearly shown in Beane's statistician and apprentice, Pete. He begins the movie a timid intern, scared to share his groundbreaking ideas with upper management. But under Beane's intellectually stimulating leadership, Pete's creativity and confidence blossom, pushing him to flesh out his player evaluations and ultimately change the way baseball teams are managed league-wide.
The last important dimension of transformational leadership is individualized consideration. Great leaders often treat each of their mentees differently according to their needs in order to foster their growth and allow them to reach their full potential. The people in the flashback, Bokuto and Kuro, mentored Tsukishima according to his needs. They recognized early on Tsukishima had a natural talent, but lacked the drive and intensity needed to reach his full potential. Instead of pushing him aggressively, they encouraged Tsukishima to observe and reflect on his complacency. Their guidance allowed him to understand his own lack of drive. In the haiku clip that is shown, we can see that Tsukishima blocked Ushijima, the opposing spiker, with a passionate reaction at the end. This was a pivotal moment for him, especially in the second set, as he had struggled to make any meaningful contributions throughout the first set. Through Bokuto and Kuro's transformational leadership, Tsukishima was able to find his own motivation to play volleyball. Avolio and Bass say that what is viewed as individualized consideration by one follower may be seen as lack of consideration by another, portraying how personalized leadership must be sensitive to the follower's perspective. Bokuto and Kuro's mentorship ultimately shows that individualized consideration can leave a lasting impact on those they guide.
Across the 4 different pieces of media, one thing remains true. Proper transformational leadership is extremely effective in motivating followers towards a goal. If your followers have a true passion for their work and are able to adopt your vision, your organization will be much more effective than if employees were pursuing goals simply out of a drive for a reward, which is indicated in the article by Judge and Piccolo. Managers would be wise to study the leadership qualities of Marjorie, Neville, Bokuto and Kuro, and Beane if they wish to improve their own leadership skills and ultimately progress towards becoming transformational leaders themselves. Marjorie can inspire leaders to take a more charismatic approach and gain the trust and admiration of their followers. Beane's outside-the-box thinking should cause leaders to reconsider the issues they face at their own jobs and check if a new direction can lead to an innovative solution. Leaders can take after Neville by encouraging their followers to adopt a vision that gives their work meaning, motivating them even when they face difficult times. Bokuto and Kuro can encourage leaders to understand the unique needs of each employee in order to grow and adjust their mentoring approach accordingly. Adopting these strategies could pay dividends for managers in the increased job performance of their followers, as well as by fostering organizational commitment and job satisfaction.